So it's the beginning of November, and we all know what November means. Flu season. Oh no. So the flu, also known as the influenza, is a contagious respiratory illness that's caused by a flu virus that can cause anywhere from mild illness to, unfortunately, death. Now, there is a big difference between the flu and the cold. One sign is that the flu comes on more rapidly than a cold, and also a flu is a lot more worse than a cold. So usually when you have the flu, some symptoms can include a cough. A lot of people complain about body aches and muscle pain, also a sore throat. You can also see some vomiting and diarrhea, but this is more common in children who have the flu versus adults. And generally just a lot of fatigue and general body weakness is what people complain about with the flu. And again, it is a lot more severe than the symptoms of a cold. When you have the flu, it can take you anywhere from just a couple of days to up to 2 weeks to actually get over a flu. Usually it's something that keeps people in bed, and it's when you have it, it's generally very hard to function. Now, there are some populations of people who are more susceptible to getting or more susceptible to the dangers of the flu, and this includes our elderly population, so people who are older than 65 years old. This also includes really young children and also pregnant women. So it's important that we create herd immunity where everyone is either protected against the influenza virus and prevents it from spreading it to other people, because it is a contagious illness. And this helps keep these specific populations and also people who have chronic medical conditions that could be at risk if they get the flu virus from getting it, and preventing further complications in the future. These complications that the flu virus could cause, it could cause ear infections, it could also cause pneumonia, especially if you're someone who has COPD or some form of lung disease. It could also cause inflammation of the heart and also the brain, and ultimately this is one of the main reasons why it does cause death in some people. So what exactly is the flu vaccine? Well, the flu vaccine is pretty much just a dead version of the virus. So it's weakened, it's inactive, and if you inject it into your body, it will not cause illness. There's this myth that if you get the flu vaccine, you will get the flu, but I want to emphasize that is extremely incorrect. You cannot get the flu from a flu vaccine. Most likely, if you ever got a vaccine and you got the flu, you probably were going to get the flu anyways, because sometimes it could, it could take some time before you actually start to show symptoms in your body. It could take a couple days. So whenever you get the flu vaccine, you will never get the flu from the flu vaccine, because it's a dead virus. It cannot cause an illness. So that's just something I want to put out there for those who use that as an excuse for not getting the flu vaccine. So anyone from the age of 6 months old and older can get the flu vaccine. You can get it anywhere at your local pharmacy, whether it's CVS, Walgreens, even Walmart, Publix. You can also get it at urgent care centers such as MD Now. You can get it in clinics or at your doctor's office if they provide those services. And you can also get it from your local schools as well. Now, some people might be wondering, why must I get a flu vaccine every year? Because the flu virus is a virus. Viruses are always constantly changing. They never stay the same. So they always have to modify the flu vaccine formulations to make sure that you're gaining some form of protection from the new form of a flu virus. And every year as you get it, you're increasing your immunity, you're increasing your body's defense mechanism to fight in case you ever do get exposed to the flu virus. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that when you do get the flu vaccine, it does take up to 2 weeks for it to fully protect yourself from the flu virus. So this goes again with those who say they get the flu vaccine and they end up getting the flu. You may have been infected with the flu just before you got the flu vaccine, and so before it even took time to actually protect yourself from the flu, you actually ended up getting the flu, unfortunately. So this could be a reason why When you get the flu vaccine, you might think that you have the flu, but the flu vaccine never caused it, and it never will. Now, some people might be, curious as to what are the side effects when you do get a flu vaccine. Honestly, the side effects are nothing major. Sometimes people complain of soreness because, you are having a needle that's going into your arm. So someone might complain of soreness in their arm, some redness, and that's pretty much it. That's the only side effect you can get from it. Vaccines do not cause some crazy things that people say out there, such as autism. It's never been proven. It's never been proven that it can cause that. So the only side effects, the only major side effects you can get from a flu vaccine is just that soreness in your arm. That's pretty much it. So please, this is a public service announcement. Get your flu vaccines. Protect your children if you have children. Protect others, protect the elderly, protect yourself, because it's not an illness you want to get. Remember, it's completely different than the cold. Usually a cold is like a runny nose, stuffy nose. The flu is completely way worse, and it's not something you want to get. And it's important that we do create that herd immunity so that if enough people do have the flu vaccine, we're not spreading the flu virus all around and getting people infected by it and, potentially causing complications in the future for others. So please remember to get your flu vaccines. Usually flu vaccines come out around the end of September, definitely around October. So if you haven't gotten it, please go get it. And usually most insurance companies do cover it. And if you don't have insurance, you can go to your nearest Walmart or CVS, and it might be around $20. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I'm excited to say that I now have over 100 subscribers, so thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.